Hello, Beyond Lithium shareholders. It's been a while since we've communicated by video. Our Geochat, which was successful in the past, has sort of had a hiatus for the last while. We've been busy reorganizing the company. We recognized early on, actually late last year, that the lithium space was no longer as attractive as it was when we first initially got into the large land position. As you know, we were once the largest landowner of unexplored lithium prospective properties in all of Ontario. Well, things have changed because the lithium market, the bottom has more or less fallen out of it. Our view is that the bigger guys that are involved in lithium will probably do okay, but the smaller guys, which were, a lot of crowded people in a very small room, are probably not going to make it just based on raw exploration for lithium. We are still in the lithium business, but we've done a pivot from that into copper and rare earths. We thought that these types of properties would give us much more opportunity to explore and instead of just thriving in this market environment. So we have done the pivot. We also, we've taken most of 2024 to clean up the other properties. It's important to note that the new stuff that we're entering into is largely all unencumbered. So we have no royalties, we have no property payments, we have nothing like that, because we've also learned in this past year that for small companies like ours, those big property payments and royalties and things make it practically impossible to raise capital. So we're gearing away to generating more of our own properties, which we have the ability to do through Tsang, our VP Finance, or Exploration, I should say, and other associates like Graham Evans and Paul Baxter. So we have the tools and the ability to acquire additional properties. In the future, we'll probably look at some gold properties as well. You'll also notice our focus is kind of shifting to British Columbia, where we reside. It's just easier, cheaper, and we're better connected out here to deliver positive results and positive properties for shareholders. We are also in the process of raising $300,000 in hard dollars. Because of the fallout in the lithium business, our stock has suffered, like a lot of others, greatly. Our issue, believe it or not, is a life issue, meaning it's free trading, and it's at 3 cents. We entered into it about a month ago. We've raised about a little more than half the money, and we expect we'll be able to raise the balance in the next 10 days or so. So once we complete that feature, then we have a tentative deal lined up for some flow-through money, and we want to spend some of that this year on our rare properties near Fairmont in BC. Lawrence will explain about these properties in much greater detail than I ever could, but we both thought it was high time we got back on the screen and visited our shareholders and welcomed them as remaining existing shareholders and thanking them for that. And we're just here to tell you that our intent is to rebuild this company and create some good value and raise the banner up so people can be happy owning it again. And that's what our mission shall be. In the meantime, I'll turn it over to Lawrence, and Lawrence can tell us about the new properties we've acquired and the one that we kept in Ontario, which we're all very excited about. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Al. That's a great update and summary of the current status of Beyond. And I would say, to me, this is a very exciting time. Like Al said, we have added 2 new projects to the company. Right now, I would just go over a really high-level explanation and summary of the projects that Beyond now owns. Share the screen here. Yeah, so Beyond Lithium now owns 3 main projects. They are all critical minerals exploration projects. We retain 1 lithium project in Ontario, which is the Year Force project. It's a project is proven that has spodumene pegmatite mineralizations, and we have done great grassroots early stage sampling, including biogeochem survey, to show that there's a good fundamental support by geochemistry and geology that we have opportunity to further explore for more spodumene pegmatites. And then the other 2 projects that we just acquired or stake They both located in British Columbia in Western Canada. One is called the Rare One Project, which we explore for rare earth elements, both light and heavy rare earth elements. And also the other project is called the Owl Creek Project. It's a copper porphyry project in BC. Later on, we'll show you a map to show that why we think these two projects have the potential to look for those mineralization. And we expanded our portfolio. Besides in Ontario, we start moving into BC. As Al said, this area we are familiar with as well. I think overall in Canada, in BC, in Ontario, we have good streamlined permitting process, a transparent claim staking and management system. In Ontario, we're able to utilize one of the exploration grant, and there's a lot of other critical minerals exploration incentive across Canada. So that's why Beyond we stay focused to being one of the active critical mineral explorer in Canada. And the process that we went through in 2024 and most of the 2025, we actually looked at many different projects, and we have a couple important, what we call it like a selection criteria that we want to focus in to make sure the projects that we now own, have good access with nearby existing infrastructures. Basically, both Rare One project and the Owl Creek projects, and also the Year Force projects, they have highway access and with local logging road access to access most part of the projects. And also they are all located nearby with town and cities so that we can find workforce supplies. And down the road, I think the existing infrastructures will be really helpful for exploration project. And more importantly, the two new projects that we selected, they are based on both favorable regional and local scale geology. And these two projects, when we talk about local scale geology, is about both projects have a tremendous amount of historical work being done on the project. So basically, we know there's presence of mineralization in both projects, and then we are in the process of digitizing most of the historical data so that will guide us a really comprehensive exploration program in the upcoming seasons. So the Owl Creek project is located within one of the prospective belt that holds a lot of porphyry, copper gold porphyry systems across from BC down all the way down to in Washington State. And for example, a couple significant projects will be like the Mount Margaret project or the New Prosperity project in South Central BC. And the Owl Creek project basically located within that trend. So the regional geological setting do support for finding such type of mineralizations. And this map starts to show why do we pick up this project. We're able to find this project through good fundamental geological work and research. We're able to consolidate the area. We're able to stake most of the claims and able to compile most of the historical data. And then we are seeing some of the surface samples being up to close to 2% copper on surface. And I think that's given us the opportunity when we start looking at the historical data. In the past, most of them were being separated into 4 different zones. And for Beyond, we aim and our objective is to get in and try to come up with a good geological study based on mapping, sampling, and potential channel sampling and trenchings. We want to showcase their good potential drill targets, and also we want to showcase the 4 different zones A, B, C, and D. We essentially put one big system instead of 4 smaller scale system. So I think we have a good potential to find both size and grades. And then I think more importantly, with the review of all the historical work, only copper were being assayed. And I think we have a good opportunity to see that maybe this could be another copper gold system instead of just a copper porphyry. Because in recent works, there's grab samples from some of the direct showing up to 0.1 gram per ton gold. So this show us, okay, there's a anomalous gold system. So that's give us the excitement, saying, okay, we know the copper is there, the copper mineralization is present, but could we able to also potentially add in the gold value into this area? And then the other project is located in southeastern BC. And when you look at the map, actually we are within a belt that has hosted numerous rare earths projects and occurrences. So this gives us this regional standing to see that we are in the right belt, in the right geological setting to look for such mineralizations. And this project is pretty neat. There is actually close to $1 million exploration work being spent on the area. We're able to recover and gather most of the historical data, which in the process of being scanned, we're actually able to start to see some pretty unique trend and targets showing up based on the combination of historical data. And we hope that pretty shortly we can compile more maps and data to showcase where the new targets that we like to go in and to follow up. And that's part of the program that Al just referred to. We like to get in there to do mapping, to do more sampling, to determine the size and the strike length of the rare earth mineralizations. And potentially, we are seeing good mineralization of lead, zinc, silver in the area as well. And our project, I think, is big enough to potentially look for both type of mineralization. So we are very excited for this upcoming season. We have 2 brand new projects, and both projects we're gonna own 100%. They all have good access. They are in more southern BC, which has longer field seasons, so which allow us to do more work for the upcoming years. And the last thing is which is a lithium project. Like Al said, a couple of years ago, we have a really large portfolio, and at the end we decided to retain the Air Force project, because this one has proven spodumene mineralization up to 4.54% lithium oxide, and also great infrastructures. We understand the structural control of the system. We're seeing our samples have great alteration halo around our pegmatite dike, showing the potential of a larger system nearby. And also our biogeochem survey going to be the next excellent tools for us to explore for potential buried pegmatite. So we now have these 3 projects. They all are critical minerals projects, and we are excited to hit the field and start looking at rocks and collect more samples. Yeah, so maybe at this time I will return to Al.
Thank you, Lawrence. We're pretty happy with these 3 properties that we have. The Air Falls is advanced enough that, and the terms are good enough that we're quite excited about moving it forward. We'll work out our plan this winter, and we'll have a whole new exploration program or something to tell you about before the early spring. So that's really good, and I'm glad we kept that. The other ones may or may not have turned out to be good, but as I said earlier in the conversation, lithium is no longer the flavor of the day for small explorers. But this property stands out amongst others, so we're very happy to be retaining it. And as far as the rare property, it's just a little interesting note. We've been aware of that property for over a decade, but it was held by a group of individuals that were challenging to deal with. Although many different groups have tried to make a deal with them in the past, nothing was ever successful. However, we did notice through keeping an eyeball in the area that the general area, that those claims actually came up for restaking. So we pounced on that with some friends and picked them up, basically for staking costs and unencumbered, whereas they were very encumbered before. So we're really happy with that. And rare earths, I think, if you've got some decent results, they should be pretty easy to finance in the future. So we're excited about that. We know we've got a great suite of minerals there, and optimistically, we'll have a crew out there doing some work within the next month. We want to get that done as soon as possible, which leads us back around to completing our present financing, which remains open, a life financing, which is free trading at 3 cents. Once that's completed, we'll be able to get in there and complete that work before the snow flies, which will allow us to generate additional news for shareholders. And we're optimistic that it'll be very exciting when we get to that point in time. And the Owl Creek is quite special. I mean, copper's always in vogue, so it's nice to have a property like that in our inventory. Graham and Paul and Lawrence have spent lots of time noodling it or canoodling it, and they have different theories and ideas there. We're starting out with some really good grade on that property, and I think we can only enhance it through the work that we intend to do in 2026. So in a nutshell, hopefully that brings all of our friends and shareholders up to speed. We're thankful for those who have participated in the 3 cent issue that we're doing. And we're very optimistic and hopeful that others will join them. We're pretty confident we will be able to close it in relatively short order. And it'll be, in our mind, the rebirth of this company, which conceptually was very good when lithium was hot. I think we could have been the big dog in that area, but it's not hot. So you can't stick around and cry over spilt milk, but you've got to move forward. And I'm happy with this pivot. We'll probably add a fourth leg to the pivot by virtue of picking up a gold property, which we have access to. We need more funding in place to expand our property portfolio. But in the meantime, in conclusion, thank you, Lawrence, for all that you've done for all of us and for your other partners as well, that being Graham and Paul. Without them and without the three of you, we wouldn't have anything to talk about, but we do now. So I'm excited, and I hope some of it is better understood by our existing shareholders and anyone else that may watch this. So in conclusion, thank you all very much for being shareholders. And if you're new, I hope you become shareholders. We'll do our very best, our ultimate best, to number one, survive, which we're well on our way to do. And number two, to thrive in a big way, to regain some of our former market prominence and regain shareholder value. Thank you very much.